Hey you guys, my computer is actually down until next week. It's at the shop, and the guy was like, um, yeah, I'm not getting it repaired. I'm just gonna have to end up getting a new computer, so I'm not gonna be able to get it until next week. Um, but I know I can't leave you guys without a video this week, but I won't be able to edit it. So this is gonna be straight from the words out of my mouth. No cut, no filter. I mean, I'm probably not gonna cuss, maybe one or two words, but you got to keep that monetization good. Am I right? YouTube. Okay, so this is gonna be like. Oh, also, there's not gonna be a thumbnail for a little bit, so hopefully this doesn't get too many views before I get my thumbnail up. But I mean, hey, if it does, it does. Whatever. But anyway, this new 2019 is right around the corner. It's literally a few days away. Today's the 28th. Yeah, today's the 28th. And so people for forever we've been doing New Year's resolutions. And I have nothing against New Year's resolutions. I think they're a beautiful thing. I think they're a good way to like reset your life. The beginning of the year is always a good time. It's a reset in your finances for taxes. It's a new month, obviously. It's just easy to track everything from the first of the year until the 31st at the end of the year. And so there's nothing wrong with it, but I am a firm believer that you should get started before the first. And what do I mean by that? So the biggest resolution people talk about is finances. I'm going to double my income this year. I'm going to make 10% more of my income. I'm going to make $1 million this year. Whatever it is, it's cool, but you got to plan it out. I'm just going to kind of chill like this at this angle. It's ugly, but my arm is... Oh, I have a selfie stick. Where's my selfie stick? Hold on. Unedited. This is usually the stuff I would edit out. But see, we're struggling right now, so I won't be able to do that. Lucy, do you know where my selfie stick is? I think it's in here. My selfie stick! Okay, I'm gonna see if I can keep talking while I'm looking for my selfie stick. Oh yeah, so you want to get started, like I started my planning in like November for my wholesaling business specifically, and also for my other business ventures that I have started already. Now, I'm not saying you have to go ahead and start your thing before the year is over. I'm just saying if you're serious about it, you need to start planning it before the year's up. And now I know we only have like 3 days left, so by the time you see this video, you're like, why didn't you produce this in November? Well, why didn't you start planning in November if you're going to take yourself seriously, okay? But yeah, I recommend planning the year out. This doesn't take long, honestly, because I found it. Okay. It doesn't take long to plan your year out, because once you can at least get the numbers down, the strategy and everything will come to you in some sort of way. And so I started doing a new thing on Facebook for bird dogs, and it's called the Bird Dog Experts. And so there we go. And it is something that I didn't think that I was gonna do. When I first got started in real estate investing, I saw like all these guys selling courses, all these people who had like mastermind groups and all that type of stuff. And I was like, I'm not gonna get into that. I'm just gonna wholesale until we get our rental properties. And then I saw how much of a need there was for bird dog education, because when I first got started, there wasn't big bird dog groups. Mine is the biggest one. It has right now 5,800 people in it, and that's pretty sad considering how long people have been bird dogging. There's no real community for it except for mine right now. And so I'm trying to build that community, because I just feel like people get too psyched out with the whole, I have to wholesale and I have to make $20,000 in my first deal. No, you can make $500 or $1,000, or just start a little bird dog business until you get more experience to start wholesaling or buying property. You don't have to psych yourself out with trying to make $20,000 on your first deal. It's not, you don't have to stress yourself out like that. And that's what I mean. 2019, plan it out. So if your goal is to make $20,000 on your first wholesale deal, you have to have some really quality leads. Like, I mean, there's no way to guarantee you're going to make $20,000 unless you're in a market that's just like that. If you're working with $1 million properties, then of course you're going to make at least $20,000 on an assignment. But there's a a smaller buyer base for that, and you have to seek out those buyers properly. There's way more buyers for properties that are like $200,000 or less, at least in my area, in most of the country actually, but unless you're in like, you know, those what is it, metropolitan, those higher cost places like Los Angeles or New York, or some parts of Miami or whatever, then you're gonna get into those $1 million prices. But other than that, you're usually at the very most like $350 or less for most investors, because it's very easy to put cash up for that. But I'm not gonna talk about real estate too much. I'm just gonna talk about finance mostly and planning it out. And so what I did to plan it out was about a month before I started my group, I had a curriculum basically that I wanted to talk about in it, and I just wrote everything down, wrote down everything that I would have liked to know that were options. If, you know, there was some sort of course I could buy, some sort of group I could join, something that's organized in curriculum type form versus just Google searching and YouTube watching and going on Bigger Pockets and just getting a bunch of information and having to put it all together for myself. I want to provide that for other people. And so I planned it out, made the group, and now we have 10 members in there. And I'm not going to talk about too much of the law of attraction right now, because this is a finance video. I talk about law of attraction more on my Monday motivation videos, but I attracted like 5 members in one day, and it was crazy how that happened. It happened a few days ago. I'm going to make a video on it. That one might have to be free verse as well, because, well, might not, because I might have my laptop by then. But anyway, I had to make a plan though. I had to let people know what was going to be talked about. I had to let them know what's going to come with the group. I produce one video a week that's like pre-recorded on Wednesdays, and then I have a live stream that people can be a part of on Mondays to ask their questions after they watch the first video. Then on Tuesday we have a conference call, and that's basically same thing as the live stream, but you know, different avenue, different reach. People have different availability, so if they did miss Monday, they can be there Tuesday live. And it's the little community like that. And how Facebook has it set up, it's a unit section thing, so I can just organize it all perfectly, and it's like that. Same thing every week, just a new subject that we talk about, and we have great conversations, we have great involvement, and I really love it. But that wouldn't have started if I hadn't planned it out. I had to write down, like, look, what would be valuable, what would bring value to these people, what value would I have wanted somebody to bring me when I was first getting started in real estate investing, what would I have wanted to know, what is missing from the basically the educational aspect for bird dogs. Because a lot of people still think bird dogging is illegal. No, there's a bunch of different things you can do as far as bird dogging that isn't brokering without a license. There's a huge difference between bird dogging and brokering without a license, okay? So all you people who say that bird dogging is illegal, is it illegal to go knock on doors and hand people notices and you get paid from somebody else to do that? No, that's not illegal. So stop that. Okay? What's illegal is somebody brokering without a license. That's a totally different thing. So anyway, my hair is just uneven. I want to get my hair cut, but I'm afraid, because I worked very hard for my length, and I just don't want to get it cut. I just don't want to get it cut, but I need to get it trimmed. But anyway, so yeah, that's my whole point. Plan out what you want to do, because it could turn out way better than you think it would, maybe. Like, I did expect to have a higher number of people at this point in my group, but at the same time, I'm glad I don't have a super high number, because I realized after we finished Unit 1, I was like, I'm providing a lot of value, because my plan was to increase the price every 6 months, because I thought that would be appropriate. But then after the first unit, I was like, no, this is like very valuable for people. So I decided to increase my rates every 3 months instead, until like, I'm just going to cap out at $50, because this is targeted for people who, you know, it's very inexpensive for people who want to get into real estate. Very, you know, if they don't have much money to invest in themselves, or they just want to dabble and they don't want to spend a whole bunch of money on a course or whatever. So I'm going to cap at 50, so it's still very affordable for people. And But I'm going to get there a lot sooner than I thought I would originally, because I'm like, it's too much valuable information that I'm giving out for me to downplay myself. And that was the thing. I was trying to cater to everybody else so much that I was going to be giving out such valuable information for such a cheap price, and they would all be available for super, super cheap. And I couldn't downplay myself like that. So I'm going to increase the prices in January. And that is something you have to take into account when you're planning out your stuff. I have a written down, like a very good system for how I wanted to organize things. And now I'm going to have to scale everything up by double. And so my group might increase in numbers much faster than I thought it would, or even if it doesn't, I'm increasing my rates faster. So even if I keep either the same number of people or I increase slower than I thought I would, my income is still going to be good because of my price increases. And so you just have to plan things out like that. You can't just go into the new year and be like, I'm going to double my income and then not do anything. Like I talk about Hamza Ibrahim a lot. He has a YouTube channel as well. I think it's Wholesaling Mastermind. I might link his channel below if I can. I don't have my computer, so I'll try to figure out how to do it from my phone. But in one of his live streams, he broke down my goal for next year is to close at least one wholesale deal a week. And he broke it down to using RVM and cold calling and everything like that. Using those strategies, he broke down the numbers that I need to hit in order to do that. And that was for free. That man did that for free on a live stream video, okay? And for anybody who's not a real estate person, you're just watching for the finance part, the whole point I'm trying to make is you have to plan things out, okay? This is not, the new year won't give you the opportunities that you want if you don't put in the work yourself. New year, new finances. Yeah, it won't be new finances if you're not going to do something. It's just like when people do talk about the law of attraction. Oh, I want to double my money. Okay, the law of attraction only works if you create that avenue. So if you say, I want to double my money, you can put some money into a stock. And you say, I want to double my money. The next day, maybe that company got a bunch of investors involved, and then boom, the money you put in there doubled and you can take it out. Who knows? Something like that could happen. But you can't just expect things to happen to you if you don't create that avenue for it to happen, okay? Let me see. I'm going to try to not be real estate-ish. I just gave a stock example, but I'm going to try to get away from the investing point and make it a little more practical for people who don't invest yet. You really do need to start investing. So that could be something that does double your income this year. So what you could do to start out, if you want to double your money or whatever you want to do. I keep saying double your money because I love Valuetainment and Patrick Bet-David. That's one of my favorite videos when he talks about doubling your money, because it's serious out here. Everything's a numbers game. And once you get the numbers laid out, everything else falls into place, because you're just like, okay, let's say you want to make, let's just use simple numbers, $3,000 a month. That is $100 a day. How can you make $100 a day? Okay. If you have your regular 9-to-5 job and you're making $10 an hour, that in itself is $80. So how can you make an extra $20? You can do the Gary Vee thing and go selling things on eBay. And so if you're selling things on eBay and you're making 2 sales per day that are worth $10 each, all you have to do is sell 2 things to make that extra $20. That way you're making $3,000 a month along with your regular job. And so it's just very practical things. And if you aren't familiar with that, Gary Vee talks about going garage sailing or just buying things cheap from pretty much anywhere, and then you flip it. So let's say you buy a vintage shirt, a vintage jersey. Let's say a vintage jersey that is signed by the famous athlete, and you get it. You can pick it up for $10 at a garage sale, and then you flip it online and sell it for $50. You just made $40 right there, okay? It's just very small, practical things that can help you increase your income. But, I mean, that's just one example. I'm just trying to make things practical for people because there's so many things you can do, and there's so much abundance in this world, and people are very close-minded to the avenues that they have to increase their money. Like, we're in the richest and most intelligent time ever. ever. Tomorrow is going to be even more intelligent and rich. The next day is going to be even more intelligent, because people keep inventing things that make it easy for us to access information. Back in the day, you couldn't just get all the information you wanted. Okay? Like, it just wasn't like that. I don't know how else to explain that, because we all know history. There weren't always smartphones. There weren't always cell phones. There weren't always computers. There weren't always libraries. Okay? I mean, I'm just going to use this as an example. I'm a black person. My ancestors were not allowed to read. So the only information they had was what they could overhear. Okay? Like, today, there is so much information that we have access to, and we really aren't taking advantage of it properly. Like Gary Vee says it all the time. We're gonna be in the future, and we're gonna look back and be like, man, we really had the golden ages right now, because this is the invention time of the internet. The internet is brand new. It's only been out for 2 decades. All right, like, that's such a short amount of time, and people really can't fathom. Biggest thing I don't understand is how older people, not trying to talk about y'all, but I'm talking about y'all. Why do y'all, like, complain about stuff when it was much harder for y'all, and it's a lot easier now, and y'all still act like it's so hard? Like, when you're born into a certain hardship and then things are made easier by society and you're still, like, the same, I just don't get it. Because I was born into the internet, so it's like, even though it is the norm for me, it's like, this is the lowest I will ever be. Something better is going to be in the future. And so then I'm going to be able to do better for myself. But this is the best that some of y'all have ever been in your lives, because you didn't have the internet or a computer when you were younger. So I just don't see where all the excuses come from, where it's like, well, I can't make this much money this year, or I can't double my money this year. Like, you didn't have the internet before, and now you have it. Like, what do you mean you don't know how to... Alright, I'm not gonna go too much into that, because, like, that'll make me mad. But anyway, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Just get your plans down. There's still a few days left in the year. You have plenty of time if you think about it that way, because I think of a few hours as plenty of time, but some people may need like a week or two to get everything in order. But that's because I have a goal, an end goal by the end of the year. I've already been trying to manifest how much money I want to make per year, and how much money, or the different things that I want to do to create my income. And so I'm not worried. I already got my stuff figured out, but this might be something that gives some people anxiety, but just calm down. It's cool. If you don't have your plans done by the 1st, no one's going to hurt you, okay? Like, it's your life. It's your New Year's resolution. And be realistic with yourself. I'm not saying downplay yourself. I'm just saying be realistic. If you're making $30,000 and you say, I want to make $1 million, are you going to do the work? Like, are you going to do the work to make $1 million from 30? If you know you're not going to do the work, just say 50. There's nothing wrong with that. You have the rest of your life to figure things out to how to make $1 million a year. Like, just... if you aren't going to be able to make $1 million in that year, this upcoming year, just start an investment account or a savings account. Let that money accumulate. Maybe 5 years later, you come up with $1 million a year idea. Then you take that money out and invest it in there. I mean, that's the most realistic thing for many people to do. So I'm done. And if you are part of the real estate world, make sure you look at the links below. You know what? I'm hoping I'll be able to put them up there, because I, again, don't have my computer. I might have to borrow my sister's computer or something. But anyway, the Bird Dog Experts group is going to $10 a month in January. So if you see this video before then, make sure you get in while it's still $5. And also, the Bird Dog Real Estate group, that's different, is the free group. And we are a growing community. It's awesome. There's a bunch of tools for people to use in order to get to the things that they want. That didn't come out right. Okay. get the resources they need so they can be educated for as less as possible. Of course, I have my YouTube channel where I have all my real estate videos, so yeah. Hope you guys have a great new year, and let's kill it.